I was talking with Tycho just a minute ago about how, we've used to have an awful lot of Marvel RPGs going on over the years, and evidently he became bored. So I thought I'm going to show you the newest Marvel RPG, because a while ago I did the review of the playtest, which is what we are seeing on the table right now, but now I have the full blown up game after it eventually reached Spain. And I'm going to take a look so I can find out if it is worth the amount of money that you have to pay and that I paid to get my hands on it. Welcome to the GMS Magazine RPG unbooking videos. This is the playtest rulebook that had this lovely comic book size, which I thought was going to be what they were going to keep. But instead, they have gone for this cover, which is, I have to say, magnificent. I really like it. But the difference in size of book is gigantic. It's pretty big. I hoped that we were going to continue with this comic book size because it makes it easier to transport. But, well, this is what we've got now. We have a gorgeous hardback with a great cover showing some of the best heroes and foes of the Marvel Universe, but making sure that in the middle we get these two black figures, and guess who is going to fill those gaps? Yep, that's going to be the players. So as a cover, it has a great story. It works, as far as I'm concerned, very well, and I love it. The back of the book, it gives you a glimpse of actually something else. This is not just about the usual Marvel. This is about the multiverse. So obviously they want to maximize on the possibilities of releasing as many different products as possible based on the multiverse, and since that is working very well for the films and the series, why not? I'm all up for that. So what's the book like inside? Good pages. Okay, good table of content. Not bad. How to play, the core mechanics, character profiles, combat, creating a character, backstory, powers and characters. Now notice, my dear friends, that in characters, this chapter begins on page 133 and goes all the way to page 262. That is a lot of pages, and I'm looking forward to exploring that a little bit more. And then we get some tiny bits on the multiverse, and eventually we get to the narrator part, which takes, well, everything else in the book, which is cool. As you can imagine, the illustrations are going to be just amazing. I don't even think that there's any question about that. The layout is clean. Doesn't have an awful lot of separation between paragraphs, which is a shame, because that could make it slightly easier to read, especially when we have this number of loads of paragraphs, one after the other. The paper is shiny. It's not particularly thick. It's not the greatest quality. I don't think you can see through. Okay, you can't see through. That's good. But it's not the best paper. I think this is 60 grams perhaps. But the printing is crisp, is very sharp. The colors are beautiful. So I think it's a fairly good balance for what we're meant to get in. But make sure that you don't, press the pages like that, because you will break it. You have to be very careful with that thing. Okay, so we get doing the maths of the 616 system, which is just that. So rules wise, the playtest was very light. This is no different. We don't get an awful lot of rules. The core mechanics are super simple. Roll 3 d6s and you have one particular d6, which is the kind of Marvel die. And if you roll a 1 in there, and if you get to roll a 6, 1, 6, then you get something amazing, which is good. So we have it very simple. We get character profiles. So we're going to get the code names, real name, height, weight, gender, eyes, hair size, distinguished features, teams, base, origin, occupation, history, and personality. We get karma. And we're going to combat. So, wow. Straight into combat, which is fair enough because we're talking about superheroes, and superheroes do combat a lot. Moving actions. And yet, it doesn't seem like there is an overwhelming amount of info on combat. So the chapter goes from page 25 to page 49. That's 25 pages, which I know it may sound like an awful lot, but for combat, no, it doesn't sound like too much. Backstories. Okay, you get the gist of what this is all going to be about. Again, I'm loving the illustrations. I'm loving that they're really going for it in terms of look and feel, which is great. And moving to powers. Now, I didn't like this because one of the things that was doing was going for power sets, which to me felt very restricted. For example, if we go into the power sets in here, assuming I can find it, of course. Here. You could go for spider powers, for instance. And that was it. This is all you had. But what happened if you wanted to combine, you know, spider powers with plasticity or with weather control? What if you wanted to have a hybrid sort of superhero? How was that going to work? That was some of my questions. I don't know how they've done it here. So picking powers. And I can see none. Power sets. Okay. Another reason why I like this change is because that means that they can add new powers as things come along. So that's great. Okay, unless it's later on in the book, but I sincerely hope that it is not. I want to choose my own powers, not having the data. Now, characters. This is really great because all of these are characters. So we are getting from the Abomination with all the ranks and everything ready to be played. Wow. Wow. Ooh. This is quite amazing. We have the greatest and biggest and most popular. Okay, Daredevil just a number 2. That's bizarre. I thought it would be at least a 3, a rank 3. I mean, Otto Octavius, what 2, and Daredevil a 4, and Daredevil is just a... Okay, that doesn't make any sense to me. Like at all, but I don't know how this is calculated. So I cannot dispute it yet. But I'm seeing some disparity in here. Giant Man just a 3 instead of a 4. So anyway, you can see what I'm going at with this. You have loads and loads of character to choose from, which is tremendous if you want to either play as them or use them as an NPCs, which is great. And then we go for the multiverse. So a little bit of multiverse history. Earth 616 today, or the universe. Oh, this is painful. That page I don't like, I'm sorry, but this is making it very difficult for me to read these 2 pages. Please don't do this. Seriously, don't let that come so, it makes it very difficult to read. Don't do that again. Thank you. So time after time. Oh, look, Kang, hello. And then the narrator. So this is just a glimpse, really, into the multiverse, which is okay, because they're going to be releasing more books based on that. So fair enough. And then how to run the game, which I can imagine this is going to need a fair amount of advice, because if there is something... Oh, power trees, no, they're here. Oh, please don't. I don't want this. Oh. Yeah, I'm not all that keen on this, I'm sorry, but I want to choose my own powers. Just describe what they do and I will do whatever I want. But I can see myself looking at this too much, to be perfectly honest. But then, it's my game now. I do with it whatever I want. The character sheet is busy. Wow, very busy. There are loads and loads and loads on here. And then the glossary. So, okay, well, I don't mind what they've done with the book. I wish it had continued to be this size. I think, well, it's a lot easier to transport. It's a lot more comic booky sort of thing. But inside it looks amazing. The fact that they have spent so much time just with characters that I can use either to play or as NPCs from the universe. I don't have to do, I don't have to make Spider-Man. I don't have to do Doctor Strange. I think that is brilliant. Really, really brilliant. I guess when I read it, I will know if the ranks make sense and how they have chosen those ranks and why, and then I will agree with it or not. But right now, they do those discrepancies look a bit weird to me. But again, I'm not going to judge it. I'm not going to say they are right or wrong, because I don't know how they have chosen them. But production-wise, this is good. This is really good. And it does make me want to find out more about what they have changed between editions, the playtest and this. So let me know. I bet you have already played this game, so I am looking forward to hearing what you have to say. So please let me know. Meanwhile, thank you so much for having been there. I really appreciate it, and I will talk to you very, very soon. Take care.